Hello everyone, it's Courtney Harris for SDI's Hammer Fired Pistols course FTH223. It is Wednesday, September 10th, 2025. This is for week 4. Um, our week 4 assignment. So, first we're going to be discussing compensators and how they work. So, a compensator is an accessory attached to the muzzle of a firearm. Its primary purpose is to reduce recoil and muzzle rise during firing. When a shot is fired, gases escape from the muzzle, and the compensator redirects these gases in a way that counters the upward motion of the barrel. By redirecting the gases, compensators help keep the firearm on target, especially during rapid fire. So, going over some pros and cons of the compensator. So, some pros. It reduces muzzle rise. This allows for quicker follow-up shots. It lower perceived recoil, more manageable recoil, and it makes it more comfortable shooting experience. With that comes increased accuracy. With less movement, shooters can maintain better focus on their target. Some cons. It increases the length and the weight of your firearm. Compensator adds extra weight and may affect the balance of the firearm. With most of them, it can have a little bit louder noise. They can amplify the sound of the shot, which can be an issue in certain environments. Potential for an increased blast. This can create a larger dust and debris cloud, which may affect visibility. Most of the time, that's all going to dissipate pretty quickly, though. Let's consider these factors when the effective average firearm owner. Compensator can significantly improve performance, especially for competitive shooters. For those using firearms for self-defense, however, some might find the added weights uncomfortable and challenging to handle, particularly for your everyday carry. I don't have a compensator. I don't think I've ever shot with one, so I can't say yay or nay on getting one or not. Part 2. We are going to be focusing on our SAR B6s. So here's mine right here. You see, no magazine. See my finger right there. There's nothing in the chamber. Yeah, so clear firearm. So we're going to be taking apart, measuring the trigger pull before polishing the trigger and all the components. So our trigger pull. So with double action with it like this. The hammer is not cocked back, so that's double action. Every time you pull it, the hammer goes back and hits the firing pin. So I took 5 different readouts. My first one was 11.5 pounds, 11.1, 11.1, 11.1, and 11.0. This averaged out to 11.16 pounds. For single action with the hammer pulled back and pulled the trigger, I got 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, 4.5, and 4.6. And that averaged out to be 4.34 pounds. So yeah, let's go ahead and pause and come back after I polish the components. Okay, we are back. So I did the trigger. Basically, I polished, so I used the little soapstones, filed it a little bit down. I didn't go crazy. I didn't make it to where the sear doesn't engage or anything crazy like that. So my goal of stoning and polishing was to enhance the trigger smoothness and reduce any gritty feel. It improved it pretty well. It made it shiny, and so I measured the trigger pull again. With double action, I got 10.9, 10.8, 10.7, 10.9, 10.5, which totaled out to 10.76 pounds. So it took about almost a half pound out, which not too shabby. For single action, I got 4.0, 4.1, 3.9, 4.0, and 4.0, which averaged out to 4.0. So it took 3/4 or 0.34 pounds off. It feels a little bit lighter. It's a little smoother. It's not as hard to pull on the trigger now. Not to say it was hard then. So now let's go ahead and do it one more time, and I'm going to put in new springs. Put the reduced power springs in. So I'll be right back. Okay, got that done. So I put the new springs in, did all my functions checks and all that good stuff. So post spring job, holy cow, this took it down quite a bit. So I got 8.8, 8.7, 8.6, 8.5, and 8.5, which averaged out to 8.62. And that is in double action. In single action, I got 3.1, 3.0, 3.1, 3.1, and 3.0, which averages out to 3.06. And holy cow, it's like butter now. Super smooth, super light. Crazy what a few little springs and a polish job does. So yeah, throughout the process, it's important to avoid altering the geometry of the surface to an unsafe level. So I achieved it. I went very slow and smooth. I didn't go and try and remove too much material off of it. I just wanted to take the top of it off and get it to where I get a nice smooth finish, nice and shiny, after using the stone and then the buffer. You never want to over remove material because it makes the firearm super unsafe. So now we're going to conduct the drop test. So getting back to my firearm here. I don't care for the slides on these. I'm just not a fan of them. My everyday carry is a Glock, so got my handy dandy hammer. So I'm gonna so you see it passes the drop test. Okay, and that shows that my firearm is safe. So let's reflect on the skills. Taking this apart, I wouldn't say it's like taking a 1911 apart. It does have substantially more parts than a Glock style pistol, which is really neat. I enjoyed taking it apart and really learning the innards of a hammer fired pistol. So I would say I am ready to do polish and trigger jobs on other people's firearms. Not sure if I'm gonna advertise it yet until I do a few more. Practice is definitely key to mastering this. I definitely wouldn't shy away from it if somebody comes and asks, but definitely want to build up on those skills. So I've got a few other pistols I'm going to be doing the same thing with. So yeah, thanks for joining me in this compensators and trigger modifications for hammer fired pistols. I hope this was helpful, and yeah, thank you.